Shout out to US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there. Cheers.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world, episode 676. I can't even keep my shit together. God damn it, dude. Yeah, how do you guys think sound check went right now? Anyways, Chuck, the return of Chuck. Chill Chondros. We're going to keep it chill tonight. But yeah, we're in for a good treat, man. We're in for a ride. Chuck's in the building. If this is your first time tapping in, watching this show, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every podcast release out of the network. The mayor of Chondro Town, 1 week away. 1 week away, buddy.
Cannot wait. Right around the corner. Hey, guys. Happy Tuesday.
Look at this guy. I bet it's like, come on, give us some, Marshall. You're muted for one thing. Unmute yourself. Here we go. There we
go.
Wow.
How's it going?
You're on your phone? You're on your phone, aren't you?
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday, Marshall.
Tuesday, Marshall.
Happy Tuesday.
Hey, was it election day?
There.
Election day in your neighborhood?
There. Do what?
It's election day in your neighborhood today?
Yeah.
Are we voting? Are we writing in Marshall as a candidate for something?
Yeah. No. Yes, there was mayoral elections today.
Did you win?
I don't know. Results aren't in yet.
Maybe towards the end of the show, you can give your congratulations.
I'll give an update.
Yes, absolutely.
So can
There's
I just
be a new mayor in town?
Oh shit!
Oh, we should have staged like a write-in ballot campaign for you.
No, for you.
Oh, well,
You're looking good, Marshall. You're looking good.
Thank you, man.
Hey, okay, real quick. You're gonna be there at Bill's Friday, Marshall? You fly in Friday, or remind me what day you fly in next week?
Yeah, Friday morning.
Sick.
So I think I get there like 9:30 or something like that.
Do you need a pickup?
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah, I got you. Send me your flight details. I got you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so, Bill, let's get into it. How's it going so far? I know the list is pretty much dialed in at this point.
Yep.
How are you feeling about the head counts and all that?
Feel great. Officially, 98 people have RSVP'd. I put the food order in today, so that takes a lot off my plate. I'm always worried about that. Want to have enough food for everybody. Don't want to have hundreds of dollars of leftover food to throw away. That's always kind of stressful for me. I want it to be just right. But got the food order in today. I'll pick up the alcohol, beer, wine, and sodas and all that other stuff next week. And really looking forward to it. Got people coming in early. Sal's going to be here early. And
shout out to Sal. Got
Carly and a few other people are coming in. I'm going to do an ultrasound clinic for some people on Thursday. I've got a girl, really, should be really perfect time to ultrasound her. She should be at about 20 millimeter follicles. So that should be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Gonna just a lot of stuff to do. I want the room to be really clean and perfect when everybody gets there. So I got a couple people going to come help, and just really, should be old hat by now, but it seems like it's the first time every time. So
yeah,
really, really looking forward to it. It's really, we've talked about it before. The community to me is every bit as important as the animals, and this is the one event that I really, really look forward to. I love Tinley. I love, traveling when we go to places. I love going to Trap Fest. But this, obviously this is my backyard, and I'm, proud to put this event on. I want it to go perfect. I want people to have a good time. And so, with the hosts of people that have RSVP'd and they're going to be here from out of town and out of the country, I just can't wait.
It's pretty much the backyard first and foremost. So
yeah,
I can't fucking wait. I mean, I probably will be in the pool 80% of the time for sure.
Well, I've been looking at the forecast. Temps have dropped. Should be high in the low 90s.
Perfect.
So going to be absolutely perfect. I got the patio. I got the entire outside roofed, covered for this year. So just in case, we get some rain, won't be an issue. It's going to be a big area outdoors for us to congregate in, and I can't wait for it.
Bill, I have a request. Small request. Can I hook my phone up to the Bluetooth system this year? Just to be in charge of some songs at a certain time of the night.
I would welcome it. If you want to take over the DJ responsibilities for the evening, you got it.
Marshall, I got us, pal. I got us.
Limited fish is all I would say.
Don't worry. I know the right time to bring it in, but I know what you like, Bill. Trust me. I know I know how to get the party started. All right.
I'm so ready, man. Can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Pumped. It's almost here.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Real quick. So, Bill, you said you have a female hitting a certain numbers on the follicles. Is that the third gravid potential female you have in the summertime now? Is that the third one?
Two. I've got a girl in the nest box right now. She's post ovulation day 40 today. So she should lay any day.
And then now this one.
Her and then the girl that'll obviously still be gravid for the party.
And she's on food or off food at this point?
She's been off food for a couple weeks. It was really cool we ultrasounded her the week she went off food, and she was 17 millimeters at that point. So it's been, that's pretty textbook. I've kind of seen this before, and 17, 18 millimeter follicle size is about when they go off feed. And then about that 25-ish millimeters is when they're really close to ovulation. So
sick. And I remember last week, I think you said you've never had a female go off food and not give you a clutch, right? Anytime they go off food, they lay a clutch, right? Didn't you say that? Yeah,
that's correct. And then to be able to ultrasound for confirmation, Carly's absolutely going freaking nuts with the female she has right now. She's going to be one of the people that's going to be come Thursday. We'll ultrasound. She just purchased an ultrasound for her animals. So, get a little ultrasound time in with her and a few other people that are going to be there on Thursday. And, I hope it helps her out.
God bless. No need to get nutty over it. But sometimes you can't help yourself. I know how that is.
We all know it. I still have it. I'm still racked with nerves when you don't know what females are doing. Yeah. So,
I'm excited that ultrasound is starting to kind of
open up.
Yeah. And kind of helping out with chondros.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly doesn't do any harm. That's what I tell people. It doesn't do any harm to have it in kind of in your toolbox when you're breeding chondros. Just another tool.
Well, what time is that ultrasound seminar going down Thursday? Is there a time yet?
Really haven't set a time. It'll just be whoever gets in and is around, and we get ready to go. I know MJ, you guys are going to be in from Ari's place late Wednesday. Is that
Wednesday night? Yeah. We're trying to leave Ari's by like 6, no later. which will get us to your place by like 10.
10, yeah, that'll be perfect. And then just whatever happens Thursday, I think. Did you say we're going to do an episode Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday night, so 8 o'clock. So maybe we could, maybe maybe do the ultrasound seminar a couple hours before the podcast or something or whatever. I don't know, whatever's easier, whatever you want to do, bro. You know me, I go with the flow. So
yeah, just whatever works out best.
All right, cool. Looking forward to it. God, I feel like we've been talking about your party for ever since Trap Fest. And now we're finally here. We're getting to the point because I will say this: there will be no All in the Tree Tuesday for the next 2 weeks after tonight. Because next week we'll be at Bill's Thursday, and then we need a week to fucking breathe a little bit after that, right, Bill? Like, can we relax a little bit after that? And so, and then Marshall's going on vacation, right? Marshall's like, right? Aren't you going on a fish tour or some shit like that?
I am. Yeah,
faster, dude. God,
the next week.
Look at what does that entail?
Like, a couple of fish shows over the course of Birmingham, Atlanta. Probably that's it. Maybe another stop.
Yeah, so close to your area.
Maybe Virginia. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling.
All right, listen, Chuck, guys, I love Chuck. One thing about the hobby, which we talk about, is the people we get to meet. Chuck's just one of those people I'm glad I got to meet in this hobby. Good friend of, obviously all of us, and, Alex Warren. Looking forward to bringing on Chuck. And I don't know, you guys ready to just bring him on or what? Let's ready to do this.
Let's see what he has to say.
Let's see what Chuck has up his sleeve. He might be pulling up to your party also next weekend. I don't know if he confirmed on the RSVP list.
I thought he told me he was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck and his wife Jill are coming. Yeah, I think they're going to stay with Alex maybe.
So. All right, well, let's hear from him. Guys, do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated. Episode 676, 9mm Chuck Orama coming at you right now. Let's go. Choo!
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live, episode 676. Chuck, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Hello,
What's
Chuck.
happening? What's up, Bill, Marshall, MJ?
I feel like we should make this a tradition, especially when we have our friends on. What would you rate that sound check experience that you fucking heard, Chuck, overall? How do you think we feel on a goddamn weekly basis when it comes to bringing on?
The important thing is how does it look now? Because all I've been doing is following your advice. And now I went back to the phone, and I think it's working okay.
It's not.
You need to get some new advice.
Dude. Chuck, what's going on?
Not much, man. What's going on, guys? I've been off camera for a while.
Yeah, you have. Oh, you haven't been doing a podcast or what? You've been laying low off the podcasts?
Yeah. I just been kind of working on myself a little bit. Just
Good.
took some time off and just trying to be a better husband, better father, and change some things about myself that I didn't like. So working on that. I'm almost there. So just need a little bit of a break. Need some time to slow down and not be burnt out so much.
How old are you, Chuck?
36.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know, guys. You feel like that's like a 30s thing? I feel like in my 30s, I had a huge like eye-opening. That's why I love the reptile world so much, because me having friends like Bill, Marshall, Gary, like Sock, the list goes on. Obviously, there's things I want to be better about, and I don't know. I feel like that's like a 30s thing, maybe, or I don't know. Does that sound right about Marshall, Bill? Do you guys?
It's easy to get burnt out, man. You just gotta. I'm prone to it myself sometimes, because you always feel like you got to be doing something, and terrible at like shutting the brain off, and it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad you're trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a 30s thing necessarily. I think, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s like me, just about, you should always be doing that. Always be stepping back, and taking a look inside out. And, if you think things aren't going right in your life, make some changes.
Yeah. I recently, found my faith again, praying a lot and stuff. And,
Nice.
trying to teach my kids, spend a little bit more time with them bedtime, getting them to pray before bed, and
That's cool.
just little stuff that I should be doing that, you got too busy to do, and it was really the important stuff you were skipping over.
How old are your daughters now, Chuck?
4 and 7.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were talking about, obviously you will be here on September 5th, right?
Yeah. So I was actually talking to MJ about it. So Jill's not going to make it. It's our youngest's first day of school, I think that day or the day before or something, and works at the school. So she wants to kind of just be home for that. And then I was looking for flights. I couldn't find anything return flight for Saturday. And everything was like 10 or 20 hours. Like there was 0 nonstop flights from Dallas to Philly. So I found one to leave on Sunday. So Alex might be having me sleep on his couch an extra night. Jill just told me to go. I think she wants me out of the house. So I might be coming down solo. I'm probably going to buy the ticket either after the show or tonight, just to confirm with her, make sure everything's good, on the home front. And then I'll probably
be the same without you.
Yeah, I don't not want to come. I definitely want to come.
Yeah, I feel like you're just an iconic person at a Bill Party show now, like, or Bill Party. You know what I mean? Like you got to be there, especially after last year. You've been there the last 2 years, right?
Yeah, last 2 years.
Last year was it, though. I feel like you kind of really cemented yourself into the party last year.
Yeah. I think we won the Super Bowl last year, and we sold off the whole team. We're gonna have to rebuild. We're never gonna make it back to that same game.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So Chuck, I do want to give you some flowers, man. I've gotten a lot of, I mean, obviously not a lot, but like, good handful of people that have come to me telling me how much you've helped them out, and like, just been there for them, just throughout like their process of getting their first clutches. And, obviously I like to get props when I hear stuff like that. It's kind of why I commend Bill so much. Cause for years, Bill has been fucking giving people advice, coming on this show every Tuesday, same with Marshall. And like, it does a lot for the hobby, dude. Like, mentoring people, and setting them up for success kind of really what solidifies like the growth that we have happening in the hobby, but how it stays growing. You know what I mean? So those, I'm sure a lot of those individuals, obviously, but I want to give you mad props, man, for you being there for a lot of people, man, for sure.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I owe that to, specifically people like Bill and Sock and Pat and Marshall and, all the OGs who you reach out to for help, and they give you that help. I kind of feel like you're almost obligated to pass the torch to somebody else, and then just tell them like the conditions of this, or you have to do the same once you're at the level that you can do that for someone else. 100%. Even if it's just, probe placement or something silly, just help other people.
Yeah. And guys, I was talking to Alex earlier in the week or last week, and we're like, dude, like, let's think about let's think about what we all know, right, Chuck? Like, based off the OGs, like you said, right? And like, you could give all this knowledge to somebody and it helps, but it doesn't really guarantee shit. Like, like there's so much first hands-on stuff that you need to know how to do to really see if you're meant for this shit. And you obviously know that, Chuck. Like you've had some firsthand nightmares. Like I think we've all had. Like it's not easy sometimes. Oh yeah, and then I don't know if you heard the story that how I almost like something fell off the top of my rack that almost smoked the top of my Neo's head as I was holding it. You know what I mean? And like, dude, like that's a story I wouldn't not like, even though I probably would have kept it from you guys for a while. Eventually, I would have to tell that story and be like, dude, look what I did to my Neo. And so it's just not easy sometimes. Like, you know, and Bill, I know you going to that. Okay, what was that party you went to, Bill? There's only been one of them, and you were still keeping carpets at that time. I think Trooper Walsh was there. There's all these.
Yeah, ICAST.
Yes. And Bill, think about like the knowledge you gained from all those hangouts and people that you've known versus like the first hand-on experiences that you've gained. Like what do you think has been been a part of your success, Bill? Like the first hand-on experience or the knowledge that you were able to like research and gain before getting all your clutches?
Well, I don't think there's any substitution for going and visiting somebody that has a relatively large size collection, somebody that's been doing it for a long time. And for me, that first time that happened was at ICAST. You know, went to Christian Stewart's facility at the time, and I got to really see how he kept his animals and, you know, how diligent he was. He was methodical. You know, he had a temp gun in his back pocket just always. And even as we were walking through stuff and looking at stuff, he'd get that temp gun out, you know, and he'd always just temp gun and stuff and making little adjustments. And
did he tell you like the numbers he's trying to reach? Like what's the number he's looking for? You remember that at all?
You know, it was really a long time ago, and I don't really remember him talking about numbers. I think he, you know, like, you know, I think most of us that are real serious about it are more dialed in about not numbers necessarily, but just, you know, doing the right things to give these things a chance to reproduce. And that's all you can do. You know, so much of this stuff is out of our hands, out of our control.
Yeah.
But you try to give them the best chance that you can. And then, you know, whatever happens.
Yeah, 100%. So Chuck, I want to talk about a lot of stuff with you tonight, as far as things that you've mentioned on this show before, that I've kind of obviously remembered. And I had those firsthand experience this year with all the clutches that I had. Obviously that technique with the shot glass, you know, you have a snake that's tangled up, but they're still attached to a shit ton of yoke. Mm-hmm. Like I had probably 7 of those that I was able to save. I didn't put them in shot glasses. Yeah, I didn't put them in shot glasses, but I put them in. I have these black 3-ounce deli cups that are like only like this big. Mm-hmm. And like, mind you, like to get them untangled, I fully pulled them out of the egg. And they still had all that stuff attached to it. So when I got them untangled, I put it just back in the egg and just rested the snake on top of that egg. Now I didn't worry about getting it perfectly in. I just put it right there in the deli cup to make sure it wouldn't go anywhere. Dude, all of them, well, except one yellow, fuck it, whatever. But all of them, all of them, dude, they absorbed whatever they could left, and they made it. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
But if I didn't get in there, and mind you, like I found out that they were stuck the day I cut, because I didn't waste any time, dude. I got one pip. I waited like fucking maybe 6 hours and cut all the rest. And then I saw like some of them that were like, dude, you look like you got something going on. And I just didn't waste any time, dude. I went in there and I saw like, holy shit, you're knotted up. And mind you, they stayed in that deli cup for like 4 or 5 days. They were in there for a while, which I feel like was a good thing because they're absorbing all that. And I just kept spraying them. Like I would give them like a light spray. But I kept them in there with everybody else. Nobody fucked with them. And yeah, dude, that technique definitely saved me more than a handful of babies for sure.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. See, that's why we should share information, because if you don't, it's not like if you succeed, that doesn't mean I don't succeed. It's the fact that just from information sharing, you were able to save 7 baby snakes that you made. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big differences, you know, between our community and the ball python community. To me, maybe it's not so much anymore, but ball python community used to be so secretive. Yeah. You know, whether it was you know, I'm going to show you this animal, but I'm not going to tell you what genes are in it because I don't want you to reproduce it. You know, that kind of stuff always just kind of got under my skin.
It still gets under my skin. Like when somebody posts a snake, it doesn't say like what it is. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm definitely not liking that one.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Seem like there's as much secrecy, you know, like Chuck said, it seems like there's enough room for all of us to be successful, and you don't have to be elbowing other people out or keeping other people out for you to be successful. So that's one of the things I enjoy about our community.
Yeah, because like it's kind of going back to what we were saying. Like we give all the knowledge we could possibly give to people on this show every Tuesday, and you're still going to have some issues. Like you can have all the tools, everything in your back pocket. There's going to be something. Like there's going to be something, and obviously there's levels to, like, you know, it all depends on the health of the clutch. You know, healthy clutches are obviously ideal, man. But I don't know. Like we've talked about, like what it is about these prolapses. Like how can we really avoid ever having a full fucking successful hatch rate of clutches that give us 0 prolapses? And you know, I think we've obviously gone back and forth. Is it genetic? Does it go to the parents? You know, is it the water? Which I don't know. I'm curious what you've always thought about, Chuck, and remind me too, Chuck, because I feel like I got to ask everybody now what your experiences are with prolapses, because I know you've dealt with them, but is it a lot of them that you're dealing with them, and what your overall thought process is on why they happen, you know?
Prolapses of my own, I've only dealt with 2 in neonates and 1 in an adult. Well, I guess a sub-adult. It was a freshly caught import Biak just recently. It's actually that one right there, I think. It was one of them. And that was, I watched it prolapse. I was sitting down watching TV and I just saw it like start to come out, and it was like that long. And it was for no reason. It had pooped the day before, and it prolapsed 3 days in a row. It just kept on popping out. So finally, I just coated it in granulated sugar. I shoved it back in I had to get like 2 or 3 Q-tips, because on the adults, you got to like stuff it. And then I don't know how to describe it, but you got to like stuff it in from different angles, or else it keeps on popping out.
The sides, yeah.
Yes.
You have to like wedge. You have to start with the sides and like go one left and right until you get to the very end, and then you put your thumb. I've never dealt with adult prolapses. Knock on wood. They look fucking horrendous. Anytime I've seen pictures of an adult prolapse, like I don't want to watch fucking. I just don't want to look at it for a while. It's terrible.
Yeah, I ended up putting a Bluey Band-Aid on it. A cartoon Band-Aid around its cloaca, and I forget how many days, maybe 2 days it had it on there, 3 days, and it passed a urate, and the Band-Aid fell off, and it never prolapsed again.
Wow! So
you used the Band-Aid to hold it in after you pushed it in?
Yeah, it would not stay in. Like nothing, like Preparation H cream, sugar, it didn't matter. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna put a Band-Aid on. I forget who told it. I was talking on the phone with someone, like, dude, just put a Band-Aid on it. I'm like, I'm just gonna do that.
Doc told me about the Band-Aid.
It worked, and it fell off on its own. And like I said, it was a kid's Band-Aid. It had freaking cartoon characters on it. It looked so stupid. I'll post a picture and I'll tag the podcast in it after the episode.
Did you name that animal Bluey?
No.
Bingo.
No.
Bingo, Bluey.
No, my 4-year-old named it Mac and Cheese.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's I don't know. One thing I just don't like about prolapses is I've never had success getting them to turn around. I've always had them kick the can. But you know,
I've had very few. I had a neonate prolapse about a week ago.
A week ago? Whoa!
Took the parts away.
Oh shit! This is new news.
Treated it like the albino last year, which is doing great.
How big was the prolapse?
Not huge. Maybe like quarter of an inch or something. It's a baby, so I mean, it was, you know, I wouldn't say the smallest or the biggest.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of went back in pretty easily, and just took the perch away, and it hadn't come back out again. Haven't fed it or anything yet, but
let me shut this door. My wife just walked out and left the bedroom door open.
You're good.
Game.
So these are babies from February, Marshall?
Yeah, one of them.
And what is this baby eating right now? What are they
So
on?
I fed it a fuzzy for the first time.
And it prolapsed off a fuzzy.
Yeah,
What had you been feeding before that, Marshall?
like almost a fuzzy.
Yeah.
Damn.
And chicken gizzard, mixed in. Actually, I haven't really done the chicken gizzards that much since they've kind of been eating larger mice. But yeah,
It's
the
funny.
rest of them were fine.
It's funny. I've had prolapses this year, and kind of classic, chicken gizzard, ASF, chicken gizzard, mouse fuzzy, prolapse. Just like, damn.
What meal is that typically? Like 10?
Yeah, probably between 6 and 10.
Damn, I'm in my 6 and 7 right now with a lot of them.
Yeah.
This was more for me. I guess maybe because my mice that I have are smaller. I'm probably 10 meals or so, 10 to 12 before I can get them the fuzzies.
Damn. Go ahead, Chuck.
No, I'm sorry. I was interrupting Marshall by accident.
No, go ahead.
Well, Chuck, how did the two Neos that you had prolapse? What's the story on those?
They're good, actually. One is alive. Actually, but they're both alive. I forget where the other one. One went to Brian Latimer. I called him and told him it happened. When it was really young. That was for my first clutch, and he said, "I'll take it anyway as long as it doesn't do it," because he really liked that one. And that one is doing great. I think he named it Synergy. It ended up being a female. And then the other one actually lives at my coworker's house, who actually he got bit by the bug, and I actually gave him the one-eyed red maniac from my second clutch from last year. Just wouldn't eat. It never struck nothing. He's probably listening right now. What's up, Andy? And he ended up getting that animal. It prolapsed on me. I reinserted it, and then he ended up getting that animal to bite and wrap button quail. It's 18 months old, and it just took its first meal on its own, like last week or something like that. So
wow,
shout out to him.
Months? Wow,
dude. I think it's actually 17 and change, because all those like the ones that all the cool dorsal and stuff, the red Neos that I have, that's the sibling, and it's just starting to go from red to like the orange, and with some black fleck or green flecking coming in.
Wait, how old was that snake when you sent it to Brian?
Oh goodness, I don't even remember. I'd have to check my notes. That was in 2022, 2023.
And he's been assist feeding it up to this point?
No, this is a different one. I sent that one fully established to Brian. So my coworker, who's my supervisor at work, he wanted one, and I was like, dude, I got one. You're just gonna have to hand feed it chicken gizzards every 3 to 5 days. And he did that for, I don't know, probably like 6 months. And he finally just got button quail. It just bit and wrap for the very first time. He started leaving button quail on the floor of the tote, and it would just eat it during the day randomly, but it wouldn't strike him forever.
Really?
Wow. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep. Yeah, funny, right?
These things never surprise me, man.
Yeah, like I'm learning stuff from, someone who's never had, this is his first green tree python. Now he's got like 7 of them or 6 of them. He's going berserk.
That's kind of awesome to have, because he's not going to go off he's going to kind of try things just to see what works for him in his own little world, right? Because he's not, like you said, he's not really a keeper. So that's interesting, man. Mark Bailey also told me too, like on the ones that I had that wasn't eating, he's like, what do you do if you just leave them? I'm like, they don't touch it. Like I've never had a Neo take, unless it was a gecko, of course, but I've never had a Neo take something dead off the floor, or even a pinky that's just sitting there rolling around ever.
Neither did I. Not unless I left them after they pulled their head off of it and they were wrapped and they ate it overnight. Yeah. I've never just left something on the ground and had it be successful. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't Keith Flax leave them on the perch and they were eating them off the perch dead, draped over?
I've heard about that. People leave them on the perch.
Yeah, that's odd to me too.
Perch.
I have one Calico Neo who like it's weird. Like it if you piss it off, it won't wrap it, but if you gently approach it, it'll like grab it, turn its head, and just slowly go to the floor and just eat it. And it's like,
Yeah.
whatever, dude. You know what I mean? So some of these just have weird ways of eating.
Yeah.
And some of them just take a while. And I want to bring this up tonight too, guys. Obviously, again, talking to Alex Warren, we talked about not wasting any time on getting in there and having to assist feed. I assist feed. I had 7 I had to assist feed a week ago. Dude, 4 out of the 7, Bill, I shit you not. After I assist feed them, yeah, they were kind of pissed, but I gave them about a good hour or so. I came back to check on them. They were acting fucking hungry. And I was like, huh. And I gave them another meal and they fucking took it.
Yeah.
So I assist feeded and then they actually ate after I just assist feeded them.
Yeah. It's like a
dude. I was like, whoa. Cause I saw again, I let them digest it. I always check on them. I'm obsessed. And so I just checked on them. And you know how they always give that look, dude, like, what the fuck? And it's like, I know what the fuck that means. You know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it, Bill. I know I go back and forth, but holy shit on assist feeding. Sometimes it's just that little switch where they're just like, okay, I know what that was for and I want more of it, and mind you, those 7, most of those were Calco babies. So that makes me very happy. Like
Very happy.
Very happy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, God damn it. Like go with team assist feeding for sure. Maybe,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been assist feeding without touching them. I've been cutting chicken gizzard into a little tiny M&M size. And
a circle?
I do all different shapes, but yeah, the circle or square works. And I snip the edges with the little tiny cuticle scissors to make it like Velcro.
Yeah.
And when they bite it, it gets stuck anywhere and they literally can't spit it out. So when they're eating it, I train feed them. When they're about to swallow and take their last bite, I put the nose of the pinky or right in their mouth, and they have bitten, wrapped it, and ate it regular. It's like you're saying, that switch is flicked because they're pretty, but they're dumb. So it's they're
what,
just
what do you do with the cuticle scissors again?
So I get Bill's idea with just a little
tiny
strip
one.
of tiny. I'm talking, you can be M&M, Tic Tac size, or maybe a little bit bigger than Tic Tac, but you should snip all the edges. Go ahead, MJ. What?
It's not that thick either, right? It's not too thick either. It's kind of like a fillet, like a tiny fillet is what you're talking about.
Cut them. I've cut them in balls. I've cut them in squares. I've cut them in flat squares. I've cut them in really thin, rigid pieces where if they're opening their mouth pissed, you've seen those. I just slam it in real quick.
I love those ones. The ones where you barely touch your nose and they go, Wah! And it's like, oh, thank you. And it just,
Yep. But I leave them in the tote on the perch. I get it stuck in their mouth, and then as they're about to take their last bite and it goes down, I'll either slowly put the nose there and they'll just eat it right away, they'll just keep on going, or they will bite it and wrap it. I have videos of it. It's amazing.
Okay, so I got to ask you. So you get the liver, the inside the mouth, and then you put them back in the tub, and you're watching them swallow it, because sometimes they sit there. They'll sit there and they don't want to swallow it for a while because they're pissed off, and then they eventually start swallowing it. So are you just babysitting them to see once they start swallowing it, you pick them back up and put the pinky in there? That's what you're doing?
You don't pick them up.
I don't touch the snake. So
I'll take them off the perch.
They got to strike. They have to strike, or I've taken it and popped it in their mouth, just hold them behind the head real quick and pop it in their mouth. But most of the time, if I can get them to strike, it gets stuck. And then I watch them with the tub open. I don't move. And then right as they're about to swallow, I'm up there for hours.
Yeah.
It's not easy
to me, but it works. I mean, it
works. It got them all. And honestly, reverting back to quail down or chick down and then weaning them off it again has got ones to feed faster than the other ones that I was just stubborn with and kept on trying to give them unscented fuzzies.
Yeah. I had 2 assist feed on chicken gizzards. Then it took a button quail after that.
They're magic. The button quail, unbelievable. And dude, it takes one. I wean them off by they wouldn't take an unscented fuzzy, and then I would swirl the tip of the tongs just in the quail down, and there was no feathers on it, and then they would smell the tongs and then eat the fuzzy. It was crazy.
Yeah, and what I was even doing too, if I noticed, I was like, damn, because the button quail it is a big prey item, especially for a first time prey item, But if you at least given it a couple meals, I mean, I do things to make that thing as small as possible. I cut the head off, I cut the feet off, and then I'll even pop the yolk and I'll squeeze the yolk out, just to make it not so much as a heavy meal. Because all that yolk, dude, there's a shit ton of yolk in those little baby quails, man. it's all in that little pocket. And I mean, even though that's, you know, probably good for the animal, like if you want to just kind of go lighter than heavier, you can make those button quails like little smaller too if you wanted to. But I just feel like that hair, I don't know, there's just some of these things that they prefer that button quail over a pinky. You know what I mean? I've seen it firsthand where they'll take a button quail, but they won't take a pinky, you know?
Yeah, I've never fed a button quail to like a new neonate. They were all
A few meals deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the clutches that come out of my Aru girl. Like it just the two clutches she had. It was like most of the babies gave me a problem. My very first clutch was I didn't know what I was doing, and my third clutch I still don't know what I was doing, I guess. And it just took forever. And just trying new different things, like just saying screw it, man. Like I gotta just throw everything at them because they're 6-8 months old and they're not established yet. I got ones that are almost a year old right now, and I still don't feel as if they're ready to go because they don't have that savage feeding response.
Yeah, I've got a handful of those too. Those end up being the most frustrating ones, especially the ones that take the first or second meal and then they just turn into dickheads.
Yeah, and that's honestly one of the ones that's still here that just got established. Was the first one. Alex fed it when he was here. Its first meal, and that's probably why it's so screwed up.
Ginger touch. No, man.
It's frustrating when they don't eat after they've taken once or twice.
It really is.
And I feel like it's right after their sheds. They do stupid stuff after they shed. Like after they come out of their second or third shed, sometimes they just forget how to eat all of a sudden.
So I remember calling. I had this happening on my third clutch this year, and I called Ryan just to like refresh like what he did. Like whenever, like I was like, so when you get one to eat and then it just doesn't eat for like the next 4 or 5 offerings, what do you do? He says eventually they just eat. Like he said, and of course that's his answer, but he's never had one not take a meal. Like he's never had one take a meal and not eventually take a meal again. So I don't know, like the way I'm looking at it, the ones that have taken a couple meals that aren't eating, they look pretty filled out, you know? Like are yours looking like they're losing weight at all, Chuck? The ones that are not fully solid, like they look like they're kind of behind the curve compared to the other ones?
They're just smaller. They're proportional. They're just not as far along in the OCC or just don't have the size. But like the fat reserves behind the head and stuff are good. I had one that almost like I thought it was going to die. And I was ready to give that one to, my buddy that lives 20 minutes away. And we found button quail at a show and it ate. But I did try something else that I thought that really worked is I dropped infant Enfamil. It's Enfamil brand infant polyvisol without added iron to it. And I put 2 drops of infant multivitamins into this snake's water. And I don't know if it was like coincidence that it started eating like a savage, but it like started putting on weight. The color got better. Like it wasn't as pale anymore. I thought it was going to die. Like it was bad. And it took off. And I just dripped multivitamins in its water, 2 drops in like the regular, deli cup you'd use for a Neo. And it looks great. And it's probably the second best feeder out of the third best feeder out of the 5 I have.
So it wasn't a good eater at first, and then now you did this multivitamin thing, and now it works?
It was going to die. But like I said, I don't know if it was coincidental that I added the multivitamin and then it started eating, because I also introduced button quail the second meal. The first meal, it did eventually take a fuzzy or a pinky like on its own, but it was right at the same time I started the vitamins. But I don't think that influenced this feeding response, but I think it did help it. At least it didn't hurt it, I could tell you that, but it definitely, I think it helped.
What was the brand of this multivitamin? I gotta look it up. So what is it that what were you using? I'm curious.
Enfamil.
Enfamil. Okay.
Yeah, and it's called polyvisol. It's POLY-VI-SOL, and it's
like brown. It's like kind of brownish.
The actual vitamin's like a yellowish brown. Yeah, but the purple label is not the one that I bought. I don't know. I was told don't use the purple label. I used the green label.
Let's help people out there so they don't fucking buy the wrong one. So you talking about this green one right here, this one?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's the exact box I have. That's the updated box too.
Updated box. Well,
I think there was like an old box or a new box. That's a box I have. It's one of the two, but yes, that is it. If you can't find it like online, like eBay, people have it still. They changed the box to something, or that's the new box. I forget, but it's harder to tell the difference. But that's it. The green label one's the one to get. Polyvisol green label is what I use. And like I said, I only put 2 drops in there, but this is not medical advice. It was complete experiment for a snake that was going to die. So
if I buy this,
these are like baby vitamins. Is that what it is, or what are they? Is it just a multivitamin for?
Yeah,
for
it's for human infants, but like I use it. I'll use it. I haven't used it recently, but I'll drip it in water and you make a solution. I have the mixture on my phone and you inject it into the chest cavity of like a rat or something like that. And you dip the nose in a little bit of calcium. And it's like basically a huge, like nutritionally packed rat for a female. That's like, if you want to put some weight on her or get her healthy enough to breed or get her back on, back on track after laying a clutch.
Interesting. I feel like we've had, or somebody, I forgot who was on this show. It was a while ago. Might have not have been on a Tuesday night. I think it was Trav. I think Trav was the one to tell me he had some sort of like multivitamin concoction that he'd used and that he lived by. Like, do you remember what that was, Chuck?
That's what it is. It's the same thing Travis uses. Yeah, Travis actually told me about it initially for the adults. And if I'm not mistaken, he got it from somebody who's a friend of his that works at one of the zoos in Texas, San Antonio Zoo. If that's even a zoo, I don't even know if there's a zoo there.
What do you think about that, Bill? Is it worth trying or fucking with? You think?
So much of this stuff, kind of like Chuck said, there's really no scientific data to back it up. Again, I don't think it certainly didn't hurt. Was it coincidental? I mean, who knows? We had somebody in the comments in the chat, Rico collecting data and about prolapses, and we should all collect data about our prolapses and share it. The problem is when you do that in these studies, they're called multi-cohort studies. Like when you do a medical study and it's not done all at the same university and you have like different universities participating in these studies.
Different people.
Yeah, different people, different universities trying to study the same thing. And it's always because they do it at multiple universities because the occurrence is so low that you can't get enough data from just one university. So they'll do it, they'll have multiple universities. The problem is you just can't duplicate every factor, from university, hospital to hospital, or collection to collection. My water is going to be different than Chuck's water. And where I get my pinks are going to be different from where Chuck gets his pinks. And there's just so many variables that it's really, really hard. We've talked about, don't get me started on scientific studies in chondros, but it's really, really hard to get any kind of just firm scientific data like, yeah, this is the way we should be doing it. This definitely makes a difference in whether it's, prolapses or feeding neos or getting females back on track. It's just really, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, just to concur, what Bill said is I think the way chondros are and how difficult they are and how little people actually breed them, I don't think you'll ever get like a real good control group to actually do an experiment. And any experimental groups you would have, there would be so many, like Bill said, so many different variables. You'd never get an actual number. All of the evidence, like Bill says all the time, anecdotal. You'd never actually get a firm answer. I think that we're just shooting from the hip all the time at chondros, and you just use common sense and applied positive theory and just hope something works on something that might die anyway. So why not try something to try to save its life?
Yeah. Because there could be so many multiple things like you guys are saying. Like it could be maybe the water, but it also could be genetic. Like it all depends what that situation is. And it's really hard. Like with me, I have all these babies, and even with you, Bill, with all the babies we have, if we were just to use our babies, it's not fair because it could be different in someone else's collection based off how they get their rodents. They get their water.
Yeah. What are the people feeding their rodents? Are they feeding them different rodent food? I mean, that's going to be the rodents are going to be nutritionally slightly different, right?
Or like MJ said, every clutch is different. Like all the prolapses I've had this year, I've had 4 prolapses, all of them from the same clutch. You know,
Hmm.
so
Wow.
like you're going, okay, you know, do you compare that clutch to another clutch? Well, that doesn't seem fair, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really, really, trust me, if there was a scientific way to do it, I'd be the first one involved in it and trying to get, you know, a bunch of people involved in a bunch of different data collection and all that. But I'm just not optimistic that I think there's so many variables, even in your own collection, there's variables, you know, because you would literally have to have multiple clutches in the same environment from the same parents. And then you could start to maybe piece together
Good point.
like this is better than that.
Yeah. Which would take years.
I mean, in the best case scenario, it would take years. I mean, how many people have multiple clutches from the same pair in chondros?
Yeah. And it would have to be someone like Marshall, somebody who doesn't sell his animals. So you'd have to have somebody who doesn't want to let any of them go.
Keep them all.
Marshall, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different reasons that we think why it happens. I think that there's probably several different reasons why it occurs. It's just that sometimes you get the perfect storm with maybe like 3 out of 4 of the reasons are occurred in one of the snake, either genetically, nutritionally, water quality, or the nutrition or the calcium that the mother passed on to the babies.
Absolutely.
There's so many different things that could happen. I think that there's not just one thing, but there can be a combination of things that will cause a baby to prolapse. If, you know, that one baby that, you know, came from a clutch that had a calcium deficiency from the mom, maybe 1 or 2 of them genetically got that screw up that causes them to, you know, I don't know, lose teeth or not absorb a certain, vitamin or mineral from a blob of goo, which is a pinky, which they don't eat in the wild. Their bodies historically are not meant to digest that stuff. They're eating baby skinks in the wild, which is a fully developed animal.
Hey, okay, you know what? I want to talk about that too, because since I've been kind of going back and forth with like doing the pink heads, dude, there is a lot in that brain. Like there's a lot of fucking, like, I know it's probably nowhere near as much as like a fully developed animal, but goddamn, dude, there is some nutrients in those pinkies, bro. Just because, I mean, in ASF, of course, I'm not talking about mice. I'm talking an ASF with like a little bit of fuzz on it and stuff like that. When you cut the back of that, when you cut that head and you look at the back of the head, you see like a bone there. Like you see there's meat, there's shit in there. You know what I mean? But this is why I'm also like, man, I'm ASFs over mice all day, every day. I feel like if you're talking about pinks compared to pinks, you can just tell by looking at it what has more versus the other.
Yeah, I've become a huge ASF fan. Early.
Yeah, sorry, but go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, that's exclusively what my Neos are getting now. You know, chicken gizzards and ASFs till they're big enough to take a mouse fuzzy.
I got 63 out of the 67 eating. None of them have taken a mice pink. They've all taken ASFs. Not one.
Nice. Holy cow. Those things
ASFs.
they'll grow quick.
Oh, they're monsters. My Neos are fucked. My first 3 clutches, dude, monsters. They look fucking amazing. So my biggest thing I'm looking for every morning is that prolapse. Just waiting.
ASFs are very dense. They got a lot of stuff in them.
Their shit are great, man. They're shitting out these perfect ropes. Like they're every shit looks healthy. There's some smeared ones, and those are the ones that get my heart racing because my experience normally the ones that smear shit are the ones that like are struggling a bit, but there are no prolapses. And so here's the thing, right, guys? Like, okay, let's say, God forbid, everything works out with the stuff I have this year not prolapsing. Well, I have females that have given me clutches before, like Mimi. She's given me 3 clutches, and I've dealt with prolapses in every single one of her clutches. If I get a clutch from her this coming year, they all go the distance, none of them prolapse. What do we then? What's there to think about that? You would say.
I mean, if you have 3 consecutive ones, I would try to change something on the 4th and maybe go with, you know, just maybe supplementing some calcium.
No. I'm saying I'm going to do everything I just did on the ones I had. I'm not going to change a fucking thing. So let's say I get a clutch from her this coming year and I get the babies to come out same way I'm doing with the ones now, and none of them prolapse.
God, you still got to, is the water the same? Is the temperature the same? Is the incubation method the same? Is the food the same?
I'm not changing a goddamn thing. Whatever I did this year obviously worked. I'm not changing a goddamn fucking thing. So I'm saying if I do that next year with snakes that I've had prolapses from baby wise, then that could be like I am onto something then in a sense. If I could get that to happen, you would say, right?
Man, you'd have to write a lot of stuff down, I think, to be onto something. Not, I mean, just because I always think of every single thing. If you have everything written down for the last 3 clutches, and then you might be onto something if everything was the exact same for all 3, and then the 4th one was different.
So what would you do different, MJ? You mean like this time you would offer,
I guess you're saying ASFs, right?
you'd offer ASFs exclusively to this clutch, right?
Yeah, ASF, not doing any pinks, ASFs, and then again, like I don't know, we've gone back and forth about the water thing, but goddamn, like I have like double filtration water going on too. Like the water has been very clean. I don't know if it's that my humidity, my humidity's been like on point, like it's in the 65 to 70. Like I don't have dry ambient humidity at all in my room. My humidity is high, and I think that has to do with something as well, like having that consistent level of humidity, not only in the box but outside the box.
Is the water purified or is it RO?
It's a, I forget what it is. It's like a filtration thing that you screw onto your like water faucet, and then I pour that into like the Brita fucking, like, so it's like that's filtered, and then I pour it into the Brita, which filters that as well. So does that consider double filtration? What would you call it?
That wouldn't be RO water. You're still going to have minerals in that water.
Yeah, okay.
But it is filtered water.
Or filtered water. Yes, I don't do the RO spring stuff.
It's probably
Bill, what, are you using RO?
Huh?
Are you using RO water?
I'm not. No, I'm just using tap water.
Yeah,
What about you, Chuck? Aren't you using some sort of like RO spring mix thing?
Dude,
or no?
that's the one thing I don't have figured out is my water situation. I got super hard water in my house. I just started switching everybody over to distilled and spring water bottled, but I've been switching back and forth trying to find like a happy medium. I can't find a good water quality that doesn't cause my snakes to have hard granulated urates.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the distilled water, I've heard that like RO or distilled can like pull minerals out of their body if it's too mineral deficient. Yeah. So I haven't figured it out. I have no idea. That's literally like, I have no more hair to pull out. Like it's bad. Like I can't figure out my water quality situation or what to get them because RO's too filtered, right? Yeah. Distilled people recommend, which I've been using and I've been okay. But I feel like my snakes still get a little bit backed up sometimes. And I mean, I'm changing. I've tried from a recommendation from Jason over at Legless Luxuries. He's like, why don't you change the water more often? They'll visit more and drink more water. Yeah. Maybe that's the issue.
I'm a believer in that. I change so many fucking water changes, bro. It's ridiculous. Almost every day.
Yeah, I don't know unless you guys have an answer or recommendation for water. I got nothing, man.
Just get something to filtrate, like a filtration, just something to purify it a little bit more. That's all you got to do, I feel like. Because one thing I'm not seeing with all the snakes I produced this year is that sandy fucking urates that I saw my other babies that used to prolapse, and they used to put that out. It was like a sandy fucking white, like in pieces too, like not a full urate. It was just in pieces. And that was when I realized I was trying to give them filtered water, but I was soaking my mice in tap water. I wasn't realizing it. Because I like to soak my mice before I give it to them or whatever, or my pinkies, and I was doing it in tap water, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, why would you do that?" And I didn't like realize it to where I was like, "Dude, like, I think you're still giving them tap water," and I feel like some of these babies can handle it, but then some can't, and that's why we're seeing like some issues with some of the clutches, you know, not being able to handle their bowel movements. But then again, it's like, dude, what about Bill's situation where it was just one clutch where he dealt with fucking prolapses? All the other clutches were fine. So
too many variables to figure it out or pinpoint it. I've been paying attention to spraying water too. My spraying water is now distilled in my spray bottle.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's all definitely. Same drinking water I use. That's in the spray bottle as well. Another thing I was doing, I was spraying with tap water. Oh my God! Yeah, last year I was spraying.
You think that little bit of tap water would make a difference?
Yes, if they're little like that, yes, I do. If they're in their first few months of getting like established and eating, yes, 100%. I think it was.
Well, I don't think it hurts them at all to put a water filter on.
No, not at all.
I do think, and there's several people have mentioned in the chats that probably RO water is not recommended.
Yeah,
It has absolutely no elements in it at all. No calcium, none of the good elements. But I think just an over-the-counter water filter.
yeah, Brita, the Brita thing that works great.
I mean, I think that's certainly a reasonable thing to do.
But also, like, be on top of changing them too. Like, one of the things I made sure of is that filter thing I put on my hose faucet outside. It's only good for 90 days, and then you got to replace them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I think Sock, he had 2 years ago, he had a year where he did not have good results. Like, it was, and he said he forgot to change the filters on his, like, he has one of those real expensive ones that go into the house. Like, fucking forgot the name of it, but
Kegel machine.
Yeah, something like that, right? It was something where he forgot to change the water filter, and so that's just something you also got to be on top of. But I don't know, man. I think water. I mean, obviously genetics could be a huge part of what we're talking about, but man, I think the water quality has a lot to do with it as well. Based on, and mind you, I mean, I could start getting a lot of prolapses fucking tomorrow. Like, I really can. I'm in that meat zone that we're talking about. I'm in 6-7 meals, majority of them. So. But I don't feel like I'm going to get them. I really don't. I'm seeing the way these things are shitting, and I like what I'm seeing, dude. I really like what I'm seeing. So, yeah, day by day.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, appreciate it. Okay, what was your last clutch, Chuck? Spring?
Like hatched or laid?
Laid.
Yep.
July 27th. I'm on day 30 right now.
Fuck yeah, let's talk about it. What was the parent?
How are they doing?
They're good. I got 12. So they're maniacs. It was a repeat of all the maniacs that I've been posting.
Cool.
My Manicoria male to my Biak female. She laid 12 good eggs. No slugs. We lost one early on, probably a couple weeks ago. But yeah, we're on day 30 right now, and they look like chicken eggs, man. They look great, plump. Pearly whites, great. I mean, great veins and stuff like that. I go in there and wipe the condensation probably once every 7 or 9 days. And I didn't put like the bag of water on top or anything like that. I pretty much figured it out right now. I kind of like to crack it open, and I'm kind of figuring it out. It gives me an opportunity to go in there and look at them and get some of that stagnant air out of there. I got 3 holes on it right now. Here she is.
How many eggs?
12. If that's that post with multiple, I think you could scroll over. I think I got my hand. I'm holding the eggs or something like that in that post. There should be multiple photos in that one. There's like multiple.
Right here?
Yeah, there should be multiple slides. There you go.
There we go.
Nice clutch.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you. That's my work buddy, my supervisor. Came over. He came up with this idea with a Q-tip to separate them. It was genius.
Or floss. Floss works too.
Ooh, floss. Yeah, it's a good one too. Yeah, I never thought of the floss. That would work as well, because you can't get your fingers in there to kind of peel them sometimes.
I'm so scared, man. I did lose one egg from, like, I pulled them apart and it
busted open.
Yeah, but like not right away. Like, it was just so thin that after a week of being in the incubator, it eventually busted open. And like I've
had that happen a couple times and dripped paraffin wax, like a little drop right on the rip, and that's fine.
You put hot wax on it?
Ooh, I like that idea. I like that a lot. That doesn't have to cure like glue.
Yeah, I tried putting the Elmer's glue, a little bit of foot powder, and it just gooed out. Like, it was like once it popped, like. But then I think I talked to Patrick or someone. They told me that probably egg wasn't meant to go the distance, maybe anyways. But I don't know. I'm kind of scared about pulling them apart now, to be honest.
You know, if you can get to those eggs within the first 24 hours,
you're good.
Yeah,
you don't have.
They're not that stuck.
It's the ones that sit for more than a day.
Yeah,
you know, and under the point where I've had that happen a couple times, and I don't even separate them. They just incubate and block, and they do well.
Yeah. So 12 eggs, dude. Normally you pair all year round, Chuck, or do you like to stick in a certain seasonal like pairing time of the year? Like, how do you really work the pairings out?
So I keep like stock, rooms at 70, 71 degrees all year long. There's all supplemental heat panels in there. I do 12 hours of 84 degrees at the hot spot, 12 hours of night drop to 77, 78. And I just watch my females, cycle what appears to be a few times a year, going to the cool side, eating differently. And I only pair one pairing at a time so far is what I've been doing to kind of keep it manageable. So with the clutch and incubator, I've had a few locks out of the my same Manicory male is a sire to this clutch, paired up with another female Biak, which I actually have over on loan from Randy Piggy's. Has some melanism on the back, nothing crazy, just like a black outline, but a good looking animal. And they've been locking up. She's in shed right now, which is weird, but she's been acting funny. I don't know. It's almost, she's acting like she's going in the direction, but I don't believe it because it hasn't been long enough, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I hope that she doesn't go because I would feel really uneasy if she did. I hope she takes a little bit longer and it goes the regular route.
What's her background? Where'd she come from and all that?
Everything I have is imports other than one. The other one is undocumented. It was claimed to be a captive bred female. That's my female Aru adult, but I got her when she was like 8 years old. So I only know the origin of one of my animals. The rest are all self-produced or imports.
Nice. And so that male, that Manicory male, he sired 3 clutches for you now already? Or 2?
He sired 3 all in a row. He's good. He eats through breeding.
And majority of his babies obviously have gone, like they made it, right? Like you sold majority of the first clutch that he produced, and how many did you hold back? I'm just curious how these are turning out for you.
They're turning out really good. So if you go to the page, I could show you some of the babies from him. Gosh, how many did I get? I hatched 9 in the first clutch he gave me with the Biak female. So like, yeah, the one with the brick background, that's Pumpkin Spice. That's his son.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
And then the female underneath of him, that's Scarecrow. The close up of the face. Oh, actually go up a little bit. The close up of the face, that's a female. So I'm going to pair them together once they're old enough, sib to sib.
So they almost have the same kind of like look to them. Like they almost have
those two do for sure.
So get this, those two have a very similar look. But then if you go back, all the other ones that were reds, all like also similar. So if you go, you could keep on going up to the top. I've actually just posted all of them consecutively.
Okay, cool.
So the one, that one is a sibling and it looks like it has, just more yellow showing up on it.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 siblings, just like it, look the exact same way. And then they have a yellow sibling that I have that I kept. One of them is Texas bound.
Do they all look the same as babies?
No. Some of them had like rounded Biak triangles. Others had sharper triangles. So yeah, that's when they were starting to change. Like, so that's Pumpkin Spice. Yep. Right there with the little bit of melanism in it. It had a lot more when it was a baby. It lost almost everything. It just has some flecking, but it's cool because neither parent has black flecking. So this time I paired the male. So the eggs I have in the incubator is a repeat to these. And then that male who has a lot of nice blues on him, he was paired with a Biak female that does have black flecking. So I'm hoping I can get something with a little bit more black or something that stays around a little bit better with this, the pairing I have going on right now.
Yeah, I like these a lot.
Thanks, man. Yeah, they I got very lucky. I was very fortunate that pair worked out.
This is so sick. I love this shit.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a really cool one. I had was it Parvati or whatever the opera singer is? It was like I had like the Italian hand, and then they like took the song down, and I can't like replace it, so it's like boring and silent now. That's Scarecrow baby. She was like very like military looking.
And what's crazy is like if you look at her now, you would have never thought she even had that kind of OCC. Like that green is like very rich and dark and deep, like a forest green.
Yeah, I'm really happy. That was like I always liked every time I saw lottery reptiles, their maniac clutch. Just like I was like, wow, I want to make those. They're so neat. If I can get like a snake with yellow all up the sides, it's just a cool like blue dorsal going down the back, like a red dorsal pattern.
Here they are. Cool. So here they are at Red Neos. Like this is like they're probably only a few months older right here. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So 03 is Pumpkin Spice, 05 is Scarecrow, and then 01 is Werewolf, and 04 is actually Skeleton. So 04 is going to Texas.
Who's 03? I'm sorry, who's 03? That's Pumpkin Spice?
03 is Pumpkin Spice, yeah.
Yeah, look at that red, dude. That's promising.
He was like dark. Like if you go back, it was pretty cool. Not like, Bill Stiegel dark, but Chuck Amicone dark.
Dude, I hatched out some of the darkest stuff I've ever hatched out, and it's still not even close to Bill Stiegel's dark.
It's a whole nother level. It doesn't make. There you go. There's Pumpkin Spice right there. He's the Burgundy Neo. Go up a little bit
right
there.
here. Oh yeah,
Yep.
look at that. That's Bill
Nice.
Stiegel vibes right there for sure.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, look at that. Oof. So
Yeah,
this
it was
Pumpkin
cool.
Spice?
Yeah, it was Pumpkin Spice.
That's a nice Neo, bro.
Thanks, man. And then the one above it is the sibling. Look how fire engine red that was. It had like a purple tail on it. It was so cool.
That
That's
gives me
crazy.
crazy Biak vibes for sure. But
Yeah,
like
which one is
like
it?
a prime
Oh,
Biak.
that's
yeah.
01. So that's Werewolf. That's one that turned out to be I probed female. So we'll see. 2 to 3 scales. And it's almost 18 months now. So
Look at that. Damn, that's nice.
which one's
How
that?
many
Yeah.
animals? How many animals in your collection now, Chuck? Holdbacks and adults.
So I have 21 right now, but 4 of them are going to be getting a plane ticket out of here. Yeah, at least 4 of them are getting a plane ticket out of here. So right now I have 21 animals right now.
21.
Nice.
That's including babies.
Yeah, that's everything. That's Neos all the way to adults.
Cool.
I don't have very many sexually mature adults. Most of my stuff is like in the 2 to 4 or 2 to 3 year old range. In 2 to 3 years, I think I'll have like nine females, I think, of breeder age from what I have right now.
And what are your plans holdback wise of what you're currently trying to hatch out? So out of the 12, and let's just say they're all bangers. Like let's say like you're having a hard time picking the ones that you want. Like how many are you shooting to keep?
I don't know. It's whatever I like, because every single one of those babies to me turned out really cool, but in their own different ways. And you have those 2 directions with like, the more Biak looking influence ones, and then the ones that are almost completely changed with more Maniquari-ish features. I don't know that I would have been able to, decipher that from babies. Obviously the darkest ones or the ones with the biggest black bold pattern, I'm probably going to be more, biased to keeping, but I don't know. I know the one I just sold was my favorite Neo ever, but it turned out to be a male, and it's not my favorite out of all of the ones that I had now that they've changed. But as a baby, it was just fire engine red, shark teeth, huge white triangles that were super sharp. It was so cool looking. And it still to this day is my favorite Neo that I've ever hatched. And unfortunately it's, leaving here because I was just a bit male heavy on my probe.
But if it's a Neo you're going to keep it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm not dead set either way with selling, or, this many I'm keeping, this many I'm selling. It's whatever I feel like doing. It's, this is for fun. So I'm going to just keep all the cool shit and just keep on putting it back to each other.
Bill, what's the most you've ever held back?
Oh gosh, back in the day, I was holding back. I was holding back a lot. My first 5 clutches, I held back quite a few. I don't remember, to be honest. It's been quite a while. But yeah, when I was building the collection, where Chuck is, and a lot of people that are breeding now, I was holding back the majority of them, at least until they changed, and at least until they were sexed. And then I would distribute. But I was always just captured by the power of either the trade or selling and buying others.
Doesn't matter, either or.
even in my infancy, I always wanted to get stuff that I didn't have. I knew I could, in most scenarios, reproduce that clutch. Like, okay, I've got the foundations to do that again. So why would I want to keep all those? Why not sell some of them and get, completely new genetics into the collection? And so that's what I did for really the majority of my keeping and breeding.
Plus, this will be like a repeat clutch, so you kind of have a good idea what the babies, should look like.
Yeah, the more
Oh, looking
times you
for
have repeat, yeah, absolutely. The more times you have repeat pairings, then you can kind of get, what you think is a good idea. But even then, you're never right.
Yeah.
It just seems like you're never right with what you release.
I kept the entire clutch until they started changing, and then I only sold one. I sold one to Brian Phillips. He is a yellow maniac, and then I just sold another one after sexing. So I was planning on keeping them all. So I have, like I said, a male heavy. I have one more yellow male that I might let go, but it's not like turning. It's just got like a couple black, like green flecks going down it, and the blues are coming in real nice. And I didn't expect to keep a yellow male, but man, if it stays yellow and it gets electric blue, I don't know if I could sell that thing. So I don't know. It's my dream. I love Maniacs so much, and Lottery really got me hooked on them. So I don't want to sell them.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people to this day, won't sell a Neo. Even established breeders won't sell a Neo until it started to change.
Yeah.
So that's just personal preference. A lot of factors go into your decision to sell or keep an animal or trade an animal. Nothing. I don't think any right or wrong.
Yeah, it's nice to not have any pressure, just to do whatever the heck I want, and if I want to sell one, I can. If I want to keep them all, I'll keep them all. I don't care. Joe won't be happy, but we'll figure it out.
I will say that's probably one of the best feelings is like you finally get to the point of breeding and get success, and there's no like urgency to sell anything. Like you did it. Now you could like literally take your fucking sweet time. And you don't need to sell it, and which is awesome, and
Yep.
when you don't have to sell something, that's fucking one thing you don't have to worry about. And also, like, I know with the Chondros, man, especially if you got something nice, the value's only gonna go higher with age. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Especially at that 2 year mark where Bill, you've had insane shit at 1.5 2 years where you don't know what the fuck it's gonna go. Like, you have a lot of stuff that you showed off, Bill and Marshall, where 1.5 it's still black looking. Like there's still black all over the animal. You know what I mean? But you don't know how that's going to shift the next few months after that. Like it's exciting though. It's like, it's never ending excitement when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah. It takes a lot of the pressure off. That's for sure. And that's the biggest piece of advice I could give anybody. Do whatever it takes to take the pressure off. I feel so sorry for the people that feel like they have to produce a clutch to sell animals to recoup their investment. To me, that's just, man, there's people out there that are in that position. I feel sorry for them more than anything. That puts so much pressure on you. And this is not supposed to be about pressure. No. You're going to have enough pressure when everything goes right, but to put that extra layer of pressure on, I feel sorry for the people that feel like they're in that position.
Dude, let's think about this. Okay, the amount of episodes Marshall's done on this show, does he ever look pressure to you or ever? No, the guy does not give a
only fuck. During sound check.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Dealing with me and sound check is the only time. But even then, he plays it off cool, bro. Fucking, I gotta tell you, man. Marshall, there is times where you're sitting back and you just see like, yeah, it's not that deep, right? Like it doesn't need to be. It shouldn't be that serious. This should be a place where you're having fun. I feel like you're always about that, right, Marshall?
Yeah, man. Like, why? I'm not doing this for. That's why I do it. It's like my escape from escape from reality.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
You don't want it to be pressure filled. You come here to relieve pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when this is a game of longevity. Like this is something where you should want to have plans to stick around for a decade or two. Because it's all about the long run. I mean, look at the stuff we see Marshall post and the stuff Bill's been posting. It's decades of work to get to that point, and that's where you really enjoy everything that you stuck out for this game.
You can't be in a hurry.
You're right. You can't be in a hurry because there's no telling what's going to work out, what is going to work out. Like it's all up in the air, dude.
It is a lot easier when the pressure's off, though. When you have a couple clutches already, successfully hatched out. Like I literally had to check my calendar during sound check to know what day of incubation I'm on, because that's the best way is just ignore it. Like set it and forget it and don't touch them. Look at them every now and then. I literally had no idea I was on day 30. Like I made it over a hump. Like I was like, oh crap, I got to start lowering temps in 10 days. I didn't even think about that.
Everything flies by until day 49. Once they, once they 49 comes, you're like, what the fuck?
Then you're on the front of the glass like this, just
You're
staring at
watching,
him.
did I see a slit in the egg? Did I see a fuck? No.
Oh,
It
you
was
would.
like,
Dude,
oh my
and
God.
I tell you, that never changes and never gets old. That's so much fun. That kind of pressure is good pressure,
Yeah.
right?
You would
Good
hate
pressure and
incubating
bad pressure.
You would hate incubating eggs over here. Mine hatch out day 54-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that. Chuck, like what is something that you have realized that's worked for you incubator wise? Like when it comes to all that, like what are you sticking to?
Well, I'm in the middle of it right now, and I say build your own incubator out of a refrigerator. I'm not going to say which one. My incubator broke for the second time, and this time it was when my female was gravid.
What do you mean it broke? Like it stopped putting out power, or what do you mean?
Dude, it was doing this weird thing, and it's only intermittent, so I have to just like rebuild the whole thing where it'll be at 80, be set at 87, and it'll dip down to 85 for a couple hours, and then it'll go back to 87.
What are you using? One of those Cornell Worlds incubator? What are you using?
I like the guy. I don't want to say what company it is, but you know the company. I'm not saying it. I'm not going to say that.
I use Sea Serpent.
He's a great. The experiences I've had from Sea Serpent's been great. But during power outages, especially not having an insulated incubator, I've noticed is not good. So I ended up buying just a mini fridge, a monster mini fridge with a false wall, made the hole a little bit bigger, put an upgraded fan in it, ordered 2 of them, and then double layered the heat tape, which I got that idea from Bill, and had 2 plugs just in case one goes bad. And I built it. So I know exactly how it's put together. I know exactly what can go wrong, and it's running really good. Like I'm really happy with it. I figured out like a couple, ventilation holes to reduce the amount of condensation I was getting on the door. I get none now. I was getting a little bit of mold growth inside of the actual incubator because there wasn't enough airflow. So there was like a little drain hole at the bottom and a little 1/4-inch hole I drilled for the probe. I pulled those suckers out, and dude, it's like just that little bit, just maybe, lower the humidity in the chamber because I run a humid chamber to maybe like 10% lower, and it's running perfect. Like I have
What
no
are
issue.
you using for an egg box?
I am using I'm using what Bill has. It is a Cambro 1/2 size, 6-inch tall, but I have a different lid than Bill. Bill has I don't know what lid Bill has. It's more of an opaque rubbery lid.
Yeah, it's the lid that comes with the Cambro. You can order it. It's made for that Cambro tub. But what lid do you use?
So it's a Cambro lid, but it's called a travel lid, and you can it's got a 1-inch rubber gasket all the way around, and it's actually that acrylic on top as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's a hard acrylic lid with that that real thick gasket, but I just prop it up a little bit and I leave about like a 1/4-inch space in it, and it's been working out great. And I got 3 ventilation holes, one on either side, opposite of the rotation of the fan, and then one right at the front, because I was getting some real bad condensation buildup, and because it's the coldest portion of the incubator, I think it's why I was getting it on a hot egg box. So I put that hole there, and I mean, it does leave a little bit of heat out of the box, but it lets a little bit of condensation out or humidity out, excuse me. And it doesn't like condensate as much. Like I said, I only wipe it around every 7 to 9 days. So it's not.
So you guys are using, you're talking about the top. It's like a plastic, like a, I don't know, flexible plastic. And it kind of snaps on like a deli cup lid almost.
That's Bill's. Mine's like you need 2 hands to get it on.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just use the lift off ones, like to have like the little grooves in the top, where you can grab them, and it just sits on top. It's not like sealed at all.
Yeah.
And do you want me to send you a picture of my egg box lid on Instagram?
Yeah, or text it to me.
Or post a link because I'd like to see that lid as well. I think the one thing that I will say about incubating chondro eggs is redundancy is your friend. So I think if you are serious about incubating chondro eggs, you should have 2 incubators. I think you should have a main incubator and a backup incubator. And I think you should have, like Chuck said, I have 2 sources of heat on both my incubators. So if one of them goes out, I can just unplug it from the thermostat and plug heat source number 2 in. I don't have to worry about, heat going bad. I don't have to worry about, one incubator is fluctuating temps by a degree. I don't like that. I don't know why it's doing it. I'll figure it out. But until then, boom, they're going in the backup incubator. Listen, we're talking about, big time animals here. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of expense into these things. Don't fuck around with an incubator.
Yeah. You don't want to find out with 2 nice clutches and that you got a problem,
Nope. Do not mess around with incubators.
Yeah.
Pay $500, pay $1,000. What is that? What was that? One Neo?
Yeah.
You're gonna save 2 clutches because you don't want to spend $1,000 on 2 nice incubators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, dude, having multiple is probably the best piece of advice out there, especially if you're going to get clutches all due around the same time.
Absolutely.
How the fuck are you going to do that in one incubator? Guess what? I had no choice. I had to get a cool down baiter for the Chondros, and it fucking worked out to my advantage, thank God. But you got to have multiple incubators, dude. I think it's really, if I could give one piece of advice, people that are getting ready to breed Chondros and you want to be serious about it, have a backup incubator. Yep.
Well, that, and I mean, think about what's more likely to happen: your incubator go out, or your power go out for a couple hours or a couple days. So I mean, a generator,
better have that covered.
Generator is just as important, in my opinion.
You better have that covered too. Whether it's a $400 Home Depot pull the crank, pull the gas, and you have an incubator there, or spend money on a Generac, whatever. Have a backup power source. I'm telling you, I've lived through it. I have experienced it personally, where I've saved tens of thousands of dollars because I had good equipment and backup and redundancy.
Yep. I'm telling you, man, you got to have a plan A, B, C, D, E. It just goes down the line how many fucking backup plans you need for so many different scenarios. You
got to be ready for anything, and it's going to be the one thing that you weren't expecting that's going to happen.
That can always still happen. Absolutely.
Dude, that's a Chondro game, period. You could be ready for everything, and that one fucking thing you would have never thought was going to happen happens, dude.
People that ask me for help, I make them have chlorhexidine and Q-tips on hand when they're separating their eggs, just in case they pop one, because a buddy of mine, I'm not going to say his name, he lost.
Say names, dude. You gotta say names on this show.
You just say names. You just say the names on this show,
bro.
Say them.
All right, so Michael Majoris from Coloring Outside of the Line.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Big Mike.
I like Mike. By the way.
I love Mike. He's one of my best friends.
Hey, Chuck, I like Mike. You're an asshole.
When he was separating his eggs from one of his clutches, one of them popped, and all the amniotic fluid and all leaked on the other eggs, and he'd wiped it off. Well, they all slowly, one at a time, died. We don't know if that's what happened, but I told him, I was like, there's a good chance that egg, when it popped and you didn't wipe it all off, that there was bacteria growth on it, may have killed that egg, because he lost a fair amount of the clutch, and I'm almost certain it was the eggs that were underneath of the egg that he peeled and ripped.
Yeah.
So I will always wipe it with chlorhexidine. I've wiped the eggshells with chlorhexidine, for mold and stuff like that, and it kind of keeps it at bay. Wipe it with chlorhexidine, hit it with a makeup brush with a little dusting of foot powder. But I haven't really had to touch eggs after I've kind of dialed in my my egg box and stuff like that.
Patrick's complaining about saying names. Patrick, knock it off. We say names here all day, every day.
Let's not mention Patrick's name.
Yeah. God. All right, listen. We're at the wrap-up time of the episode. I'm going to go first. And obviously, we're discussing how much failures helps a lot to do with the success we finally get to experience in the Chondro game. And how should people really take on failures getting into Green Tree Pythons USA, Chuck? Especially when, no matter how many times they hear it, they experience it, and they don't really know how to handle it. Because I know it's very humbling at times. And And you've been there, so have I. We've all been here on the screen. But what would you have to say to that, Chuck?
Definitely prepare. Talk to someone who's failed a million times over and ask them what could go wrong while you're trying to do a certain, you're within your certain stage of breeding. And any mistakes that you make sure that you fix the mistake and learn from it and tell other people not to mistake. So
Amen.
I would definitely say learn from it and definitely put all of your mistakes out there so that you can help everyone in the community not make those mistakes. So you're not, people aren't losing clutches when you could have just, mentioned it on a podcast and embarrass yourself a little bit, We all screw up. I think it's when Mike Tyson said it or something like that. It's, everyone's too afraid to be a fool, but you got to be a fool first before you're an expert or even good at something.
That's facts, man.
You also said everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh
You sure did.
God. That hits home. Yeah.
Yep.
Love Tyson.
Oh my God. All right, who wants to go, Bill or Marshall?
Chuck, what's your cycling method that you use? This did you do any food cycling, or you just keep the same temps going all year round?
There's really no temperature manipulation or light manipulation, but yeah, I guess I am food cycling when the females are hugging the cooler side. And I think, this is a female I want to breed. Once they go to the cool side and they start hunting a lot more during the day, I'll start, I'll introduce and I'll start separating and feeding the female a little bit more often. And basically just, giving her more often meals. And then I did a pause this most recent clutch and I got her to go. So I gave her a real big meal and then paused it. And then, she grew her follicles and then I ended up getting a refusal shortly thereafter, a couple weeks later.
In your room, doesn't have any windows, or it's not subject to the outdoor temperature swing at all. Like you have a pretty tight control over it.
So I got a dedicated window unit and the HVAC is completely cut off from the house going into that room. It does have 2 windows in it, but I did put radiant heat blocking tint on the windows. So I still get that circadian rhythm from the sun, but it's really crazy. Like the heat doesn't penetrate the room through the tint. I don't know how it works, but it does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, what you got?
Chuck, any plans on getting in the designer game? I know you have locality crosses that you love. Designer plans or not?
So I'm going to try to make my own in the long term. Basically, I'm going to try to do what Garrick's doing. I'm going to get my locality crosses, get the craziest ones and sib them and see what I get out of it and then take the next step. I'm not opposed to designers, but I don't know. I'm trying to make wild looking stuff from wild stuff right now.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Garrick's certainly the master of doing that. I thought, when I first looked at his stuff, I thought his stuff was designer stuff, and he was quick to correct me. And no, it's not. It's locality cross stuff.
Yeah, if I can make some cool looking stuff that looks like Garrick's and people are able to obtain that and inject that into some really closely bred, like heavy lineage stuff, I think that would be pretty neat to have my stuff, like introduce some fresh blood, to some really wicked looking designer animals. Hopefully I can make something even worth putting to a designer. I don't see that in the near future, but hopefully.
Shout out to Garrick, man. Yeah, Garrick was the first person, this was years ago too, man, where I was like telling him, I'm like, dude, one of these days I want to buy an animal from you. Like, this is when I was just like, I never thought I would ever fucking have a $5,000-$6,000 Neo in my collection. Just happy to be friends with someone like Garrick and just kind of shoot the shit with him. And he would tell me, like, MJ, like the stuff you're raising up and like you have what it takes to make your own stuff that I'm making. Like, that, right? And I'm like, really? And that's when he told me, like, I don't have designer stuff. I have locality outcross stuff. Like, it's all outcross to different localities. And that's why I was like, oh shit. So I actually, I'm going the long route, which I always recommend too. It's okay to go the long route, but a lot of this stuff you could just raise up and make yourself,
Yeah, I figure
I was just going to say, Garrick will be here September 5th. So you guys can have a nice long conversation with him about that.
I don't like talking to Garrick. His hair is too nice. Makes me jealous.
Yeah, but what version hair are we talking about?
Yeah, I was going to say it's different every time.
Styles, bro. Like, I love it, bro. Like this dude, I don't know what to expect next week at Bill's. I'm looking forward to it.
Garrick, this is a classic story about him coming to the party last year. He thought he had to have a passport.
Yes. Oh my God. But that was on the show, right? Where we didn't want. I was like, why don't you go into Bill's? He's like, I want to. He's like, I'm gonna be able to travel soon. I get my passport in 2 weeks. I'm like, you're in Los Angeles. Like, what are you talking about, buddy? And
Wait.
his eyes were like, what? You don't need a passport to travel state to state? We're like, no, dude. Like, and then sure enough, he made it that last year. Just like that.
And he's coming again. So I can't wait to see him.
Do you have real ID? Is that even a thing with you guys for flying?
Oh yeah,
it's you got to have that now. The real ID thing.
Yeah, I can't fly without my passport now because I don't have real ID. It's too much of a pain in the ass to get it.
I got my passport.
Really?
I don't talk about that real ID. I just use my passport. So
interesting.
Yeah,
I have clear. I have that thing called Clear too, where it's just I just show my face and they let me in. So
is that like I have TSA pre-check? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, Clear TSA pre-check.
Same thing. A little different, but
it's not the same thing. If you don't have that new driver's license ID, then you have to have a passport. Although I've heard you can still do it with the driver's license, a regular driver's license. They just pull you aside
and tell you what. Yeah,
give you a little like 5-minute questionnaire and then you can fly.
Yep.
But
well, fuck, Chuck. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you next Saturday or next Friday, buddy. Which
better make it, bro.
I know. I got the flight on my phone. I was making sure that it was still available.
Good, because dude, Ryan Young's gonna pull up, and it's just gonna be quite the time, dude. You gotta.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to Ryan about my Orbeez I'm using to incubate because he recommended it on your show.
Dude, he's gonna hate that. He's gonna hate that worse than when I said that he showed me how to palpate one time. He's like, I don't fucking palpate. Never mind, wrong person.
Yeah, Ryan taught me how to incubate with Orbeez, and Chris Rice taught me about how to spray my animals down properly.
Oh my God. Hey, Chuck, dude, you're a good guy, man. You always know how to make the fucking room laugh. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Just drop where people can follow you before we let you go.
Chill Chondros on Instagram is really where I'm at. I don't really go on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook at all, really. I post pictures of my clutches. I didn't even do this last one. So just Instagram. You have any questions, just hit me up. If I don't get back to you, just comment on one of my posts because I miss all those hidden messages all the time if I don't follow you.
All right. Well, guys, Chill Chondros on IG. Go give him a follow. Find the link in the description below. But give it up. It's a wrap for Chuck, ladies and gentlemen.
Chuck.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon, Chuck.
See you in 9 days, brother.
See you in Texas, buddy. Later.
All right, later, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Y'all take care. Thank you, everybody.
Dude, I shit you not, man. It was definitely towards the end of the night last year at Bill's party. And I was definitely like, dude, I was I don't know if I was more high or more drunk. I can't remember. Maybe both. But I was like, remember, like all I could think about was like my Whataburger order and like what I wanted to order at that, like what I was getting ready for. But then Chuck put on a show. Like it was like, dude, it was like, I don't know what it was, but the way he acted at that, like 20 minutes of whatever he did. Well,
it wasn't just MJ. It wasn't just Chuck. It was right. Chuck and Jill.
Right. My bad.
He was every bit a part of the show. It was
the duo, and I don't think I've laughed that hard like in a long time, dude. Like, and it was so just awesome. And so, anyways, I'm looking forward to next week. I can't stop saying it. It's coming very, very soon, obviously. And yeah, it's going down, boys. You ready or what?
Right around the corner now, boys.
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm ready.
Well, listen, let's all get our stuff ready to rock and roll for next week. Guys, go give my man Marshall Mendez a follow, Red Mountain Herbs, and of course, the mayor of Chondro Town, Phoenix Reptiles. But give it up. It's a wrap for Bill and Marshall, ladies and gentlemen.
See you soon, boys.
See you next time.
Can't wait.
See you next week, boys. Have a good night. Peace. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Before you head out, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every podcast released out of the network. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, there's a brand new podcast being released. And of course, you can listen to all these episodes on all major audio platforms, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the major ones, okay? And if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to be on exclusive waitlist for all my designer and outcrossed Chondro stuff, make sure you come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Click the very first link in the description below. Connect to the Discord and the amazing Instagram group chat that is popping 24/7. Please check out all my sponsors before you guys head out and enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you here Thursday for the big showdown. Dude, are you team spray or you team no spray? Dude, it's time to fucking take care of business this Thursday. And again, I'm going head to head with one of my mentors. God damn, do I ever learn my lesson? Nope, I don't. But it's going down, dude. Hey, I am here to fucking back up all the sprayers in the game. All right? This is for you guys. Going full MJ Thursday night. Have a good night. Check out my sponsors. I'll see you guys here Thursday. One of the biggest growths we have in the reptile industry today are the rare species of reptiles that aren't worked with. That's right. That's why I went ahead and partnered up again with Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. Brian works with species such as kahua geckos, gargoyle geckos, all species of tree monitors. He works with Abronia and many other cool species geckos that you can check out all on his website. Head over to sundownreptiles.com, see what he has available. Brian's one of the best doing it in the reptile industry today. He's been on the show multiple times, so make sure you check out all of Brian Susan's episodes on Trap Talk Reptile Network. But more importantly, for the highest quality of captive bred reptiles, make sure you head over to sundownreptiles.com and make sure you give him a follow on Instagram. Thank you again, Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. One of the things I love about being a part of the reptile industry is all the learning, okay? Learning can be fun, and I can prove that to you. Thank you so much to today's sponsor, Gary Scavino over at GS Reptiles. I highly recommend you head over to his YouTube channel, follow all this man's content when it comes to learning about rare species of snakes you could be keeping in the hobby, and also just finding out how easy a lot of these rare species of snakes are to keep in general. So thank you so much, Gary Scavino of GS Reptiles. Again, head over to his YouTube channel. Also head over to his Instagram to be on top of all of his current work and be ready for a big year over at GS Reptiles. Thank you so much, Gary, for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Cheers.